Hello once again and welcome to It's Just My Opinion. Now, I promised one of my longtime viewers that I'd look at Leprous' newest album, Bilateral, this week. However, I checked it and it's past my cutoff, so by my principles, which I am actually going to try and stick to now, I won't give it a full review. So I'll just include it in this week's selection of albums that were requested but were from last year. The Great Pandemonium is my current ringtone. I haven't listened to it yet, but I love the band. I have a mock Thor hammer in my car, and I hold it high whenever I listen to this when I drive. And finally, weird, but still kind of good. Now for the rest of the show. This week's episode is going to be slightly different. I have 4 albums here that a few people have asked me to review that all seem to fit into the same category. Female-fronted symphonic metal. Now, there are some people who don't like it on principle, saying metal is a man's game, to which I say, shut the hell up. Some of the best bands on the planet are fronted by ladies. A lot of them do the whole being in a metal band thing better than most of the guys. I wish I could growl like Angela from Arch Enemy. So this week I wanted to go through 4 albums that sound a lot alike, but have different strengths and weaknesses. So let's get started with Lacuna Coil. As you can tell, they are not phoning in anything here. The album has your traditional Lacuna Coil sound, but unlike the past few albums, it's not as commercial, with a lot more emphasis being put on the band as opposed to being centered around Christina, which, in my opinion, is a step up. It makes the whole album sound a lot more well-rounded and detailed. The techno-ish elements are still apparent, but they don't bother me as much as I thought they would, because the band is heavy as hell. I feel the worst part of this is actually the male singer. There are times when I think he's just not trying when he performs. Now, if you want a secondary singer that not only sounds into the music, but maybe like he's competing with the female lead, you have to listen to Epica. I saw Epica last year and they opened with Resigned to Surrender, which is what a lot of this album sounds like. It's incredibly heavy, symphonic, and the male singer screams his ass off. Simone's parts are more than just an added flavor, and she's really a main focus of the band without having the band being delegated to just a kind of heavy band with a chick singer, which is the kind of shadow that hangs over a lot of the bands in this genre. And while her solo parts are great, my favorites are the ones where she has backing vocals, I guess done by herself. Some songs feel a little empty for such an atmospheric-based genre, but I think it's still pretty damn good. Now, Amberian Dawn, I'll admit I know because of Rock Band, and not because they're one of the default songs in one of the games, but because available for download is every song in their goddamn catalog. I guess it's a good way to get noticed. I just wish it was as successful for some other artists that are on Rock Band Network. And if there's one thing I could say about this band is that it's alright. The music isn't badly written or anything, and the vocals fit well, but all in all, it's just kind of bland. It just doesn't capture my attention like the other bands I mentioned do. The singer, I feel, is kind of limited in her range, even with the backing vocals. The band, however, is really good. The guitars and the keyboards are really the best part of this band, and the solos really do bring some life into the songs, if only to dampen it later with the choruses. Man, I'm really negative tonight. But I had an album sent to me recently by my friends at Skateboard Marketing, and this is the total package. If you were to take the catchiness of Lacuna Coil songs, the operatic singer mixed with the growling vocals of Epica, and the amazing backing band of Amberian Dawn, and combine them all into one solid album, you would get Diabulus in Musica's The Wanderer. I cannot speak highly enough about this band. This is exactly what I look for in a female-fronted metal band. The songs are memorable, the lyrics are intellectually written, the orchestration is epic, and the band is 7 shades of awesome. I was really looking for Epica to be the album that I would be putting on repeat of the 4, seeing as how I'm legitimately a pretty big fan of theirs. But this album completely blew it out of the water. Instead of being copy and paste in any sense of the word, every song seems like a breath of fresh air. Some people might not like this because the singer is too operatic, but screw them. I cannot recommend this enough. Pick up this album. That's it for this week. Leave a comment below and let me know what you want to hear me review next, but please keep it within the time frame of the last 3 months. And if you don't agree with me on what I have to say, it's just my opinion.